To members of the Export TD staff, I want to say thank you, Mr. Mohammed from KC, and to the participants here, a pleasant morning to you. Unlike KC, ours is a very young company. So I will give you an introduction to our company and then further penetrate into the idea of how we started our export. Our company was born in 2001, and we are manufacturers of display shelving. It's different from probably the majority of products that you will try to export to Jamaica, Barbados, and CARICOM for that matter. How we got started into this business. Our market research pointed out that 100% of this display shelving was imported from international companies, mainly the United States. Further research showed that 60% of the raw material could have been obtained locally. So we decided that maybe we can take a chance. The equipment was duty-free, and so we decided to bring in the other 40% raw material. Now we were faced with targeting the giants that were bringing in these materials into Trinidad. But we had no fear, because we figured that if we made these products in Trinidad, it will be cheaper and of course better to the consumer. Once we started to make these products, we looked at the consumers. Unfortunately for us, it was the big clients like Bermuda's Biscuit, Charles Candy, Nestle, Sunshine Snacks, because these are the people who promoted their product. As you can see, we're showing bread there, but actually it's what is holding the bread that actually is the product that we are making. So, so don't get confused that you're seeing a lot of bread there and we're going to share bread this afternoon. No, we don't have that. We even targeted the spice market, the clothing industry. So our product, if you look at it, wherever you go, your product has to sit on something, right? And that was our target market. After several years, our product was well received by the local manufacturers, and even we now started to get recognized by the foreign companies like Nestle, 3M, Cadbury Chocolate, GlaxoSmithKline. So that gave us the kind of courage now that we were doing the right thing. Having satisfied to a certain portion of this market, or the greater portion of this market, we figured we were export ready. I'm not familiar too much with these things, so bear with me. Was our company ready for export? Yes, we were ready for export because we had a full confidence in our product. Was our product ready? We figured if it was good in Trinidad, it could be good in the Caribbean. And so we decided to take that approach. First, how do we start to export? Where do we begin? Firstly, we fulfill our legal obligations as a manufacturer, bona fide manufacturer in Trinidad. So we got status as for certification, yes. We identified our target markets, found that the CARICOM market followed the trends of all the other Caribbean markets. We had the treaty for duty exemption, lower freight costs, similar product requirements, and no language barriers. We developed an export plan for the CARICOM. How do we identify our target markets? We examine the product trends, continuous demand because of growth potential. We research the competition, the products that came in from the United States or Canada and England for that matter, they brought in bulk quantities. In other words, they did not understand that each supermarket in this country has a different configuration. You walk in, it's not an open space. There's a pillar here, a pillar there, and especially to the front, you go in the supermarket and you see that it's a small shelf here and a bigger one there. So the international market did not understand what the tradition and the culture was in Trinidad. So we had an edge on them. We could custom make our products and satisfy our customers. Similar thing happened in the Caribbean, at Jamaica and Barbados for that matter. As a matter of fact, we sell to all the Caribbean islands, including Suriname, right? So, but we are today focusing on Jamaica and Barbados. How did we really enter the Jamaican and Barbados market? We established our base in Trinidad, and some of the companies that we were selling to in Trinidad had distributor links in both these islands. So we used them as a tool to enter that market. But enter the market, not that we were directly selling to them now, but to get the referral so that we can contact the distributors or the manufacturers themselves in Jamaica. And all we need was a stepping stone to go in those countries. So we had a channel by email or what you call direct telephone calls, and we made several visits to those islands. What we found that we could have offered a more competitive product. We could have offered a smaller quantity of products. We could have offered a product that they required. Because sometimes if you look at this, I can show you here, the bread is well stacked and looks very nice. But if you have a product, sometimes it does not fill the entire thing. So you have spaces, you have your limitation, your product is not displayed properly. So we have been able to do custom-made products for the clients. And that was one of the advantages we had. The second advantage is that we could have shipped a minimum quantity. We could have shipped at a lower price because the freight rate to Jamaica and Barbados was much less. The shipping time was much less. We had that advantage over the other suppliers. What we found is that in Jamaica, I know you said that the population was 2.7. Somewhere I read it was 3.7, so I don't know. We are missing 1 million, which makes a big difference if you want to sell, right? Compared to Barbados was just, what, 270,000, yes. We found that at the port in Jamaica, it was a longer waiting time. So that caused a higher cost as against Barbados, where the shipping time was less and easier port delivery. In Jamaica, we found that there was a culture difference, shorter response time from customers. There was a variety of tastes and easier accessibility to the clients. Barbados, on the other hand, there was a culture difference, longer response time from the customers. So in other words, we got a shorter time frame in which to get a response from our clients in Jamaica. As against Barbados, it seemed to be like a laid-back attitude, and they will tell you when they're ready. And I mean, that is our experience. For others, it might be different. Jamaica, on the other hand, was more American-oriented. Barbados, more English-oriented. It made a big difference for us. Barbados was mostly tourist-oriented. Jamaica was manufacturing and tourism. So we had a situation where it was easier to do business in Jamaica for us than in Barbados, although we were supplying both islands. So what happened here in Jamaica is that once we got a foothold with some of the suppliers from Trinidad into Jamaica, we were able to utilize our experience now and say, let us brand our products. In other words, when we put out our product there, we give a good branding to it so that anybody else wants to see how well the bread is stacked or how well the biscuit is stacked, they're going to see that our product was the one that is stacking all these things. As we use this method of marketing, we started a continuous contact with these clients that we had in Jamaica and Barbados. And it proved well for us because you got to look at two things. If the economy is bad, people want to sell their product. They can't say, okay, well, we're not going to sell. How are we going to sell? We're going to sell it at a cheaper price, or we want to push it forward so that once you come in the supermarket, people will see it. So this is where our product came in handy to highlight these products. Everybody, we want front space, right? Nobody wants the back. And today supermarkets, like, I don't know in Jamaica if it's happening, but in Trinidad, supermarkets are making money without doing anything. You put your product there, they want to charge you for putting your products there, right? And the other thing, they say, well, otherwise they'll stack it way down in the end of the gondola shelves. So you gotta pay money for our shelves, which is good for me, and then you gotta put it up front, which is where they want pricing as well. So it's easy to do business, it's nice to do business, but it's difficult also. There's so much pressure applied, right? You only feel good when you start to get back some money. In Jamaica, what we found is that it was easier to sell full container loads of products because of the population, as against Barbados, where there was, again, this population, so it's less than container loads. What we found is that the competition was so varied in Jamaica that we had to offer a cheaper price to be more competitive there. In Barbados, fewer manufacturers, less population, we could have raised the price of our product in Jamaica, in Barbados. I know most of you all here are probably manufacturers or traders or cargo specialists, whatever it may be. The point about it is once you get into this market, it is important to sustain and maintain your contacts, because no matter what you do, people got to eat, so there's always going to be buying your products, one or the other. And for whatever reason today, the world seems to be like a satiable. They have appetite for everything. I mean, for a small country like ours, we have probably the most products in the world in the supermarkets, right? And everybody seems to be buying it, right? Sooner or later, I don't know what's going to happen to our health consciousness. We seem to be eating everything. But the most important key to it is you have to maintain contact with your clients. They don't get despondent. Today they may buy, tomorrow they may not buy. But At some point in time, there's going to be consistency based on you as the trader or the manufacturer and your sales rep. You got to keep focus on your products. Remember, you have spent a lot of money putting into developing a business. You cannot give up that easily. Some years may be good, some days may not be so good, but the focus is on your strength and your responsibility to go forward. Thank you very much.